Hi guys, Dr. Mel. We are busy with universal gravitation. That's Newton's fourth law, and we did the theory in the previous lesson. So let's do some application. Just a reminder, you will get the equation on your information sheet. But bear in mind that Newton postulated this and he deducted that from his law, which said the force is directly proportional to the product of the masses. The force is directly proportional to mass 1 times mass 2. It's inversely proportional to the square, I'd like to emphasize square, of the distance between their centers. So the force is inversely proportional to the r square. Please remember the square. Please remember that it's between the midpoints, the centers. It's measured in Newton. It's an attractive force, and I can now go and do calculations with that value. And remember, we have got the value of G. It's on your information sheet. It has the value of 6.7 times 10 to the minus 11. Make sure that you've got all the values with you so that when you get asked a question that you can do it. I just want to remind you, if I take these distances and I make them smaller, so what's happening? They are moving nearer to each other. Then the force will be increased. If I increase the masses, the force will increase. So make sure that your answer is in relationship of what you are doing and what's been asked. They asked me a question. A small hypothetical planet X has a mass of and a radius of. So let's say I've got X here. What do I know? I've got the mass of X as 6.5 times 10 to the 20 kilogram. This is quite heavy, guys. And a radius of 550 kilometers. And without thinking, don't even think, should I or should I not? You know I cannot use G if it's not in meters. So immediately put the kilometers and convert that into meters. So you multiply it with 1,000. Now I've got the distance between them. They're asking me calculate the gravitational force that planet X exerts on a 90 kilogram rock on the planet's surface. So if the planet is there and the rock is lying there, the distance between their midpoints will in fact be this radius. So make sure that you draw a diagram so that you can actually apply the knowledge. Let's write down the equation. If on this planet is planet equals G m1 m2 over the radius square. What do I have? I've got G. Make sure that you've got the power as minus 11. I've got the first mass they gave me as 6.5 times 10 to the 20 times the 90. We know the rock is 90. The distance between them is, remember, we've got to work with meters, 550 times 10 to the power of 3, and remember the square. Now I'm going to give you 2 seconds to quickly put that into your calculator and see what you get. 6.7 times 10 to the minus 11 multiplied by 6.5 times 10 to the power of 20 multiplied by 90 divided by 550 to the power of 3, or you could have said 550,000 square. Remember the square. And see if you get the same answer as I did. I got 1, 2, 8, 9, 9. 12.899 Newton. See if you get the same answer as I did. And if you didn't, go back and redo your calculation. This is a fairly simple way of being asked. They gave you the distance and they gave you the two masses. Before we do our next question, I just want to alert you to an equation which you might use, and we are certainly going to use it now. If I said the gravitational force or the mass is the weight, on the mass is m times g, and we use that quite often. Now I've got a new equation which says the gravitational force, remember, of Earth is g m, signifying the mass of Earth. Now the one object is Earth and another mass over the square of the radius. I could actually say this is the weight, because it's the gravitational force. So I can say, because these are the same, I can equate these two equations. M times G is equal to G M, and this is the small weight, mass of which you determine the weight. Can you see I've got a mass on this side, a mass on that side, which gives me a new equation, and you'll also find this on your information sheet. G, which is the acceleration of gravitation. Gravitational acceleration is universal constant times the mass of Earth over the radius from the midpoint. Make sure that you also be able to apply that. You've got to be able to apply that. Now, a question that was asked in a previous exam paper is the following. The relationship between the gravitational acceleration, what do they mean? The G, and the ratio of the mass to the square. Can you see mass to the square of the radius? We just did that just now. The gravitational acceleration, the mass, and the ratio of the distance is being plotted on a graph. So they give me a graph of G on my y-axis and that relation m over r square on my x-axis. See, my graph always have a title. See that it's got axes, and on the axis you'll find the two units. Do you see meter per second square? And this one is kilogram meter per minus 2. So make sure that you always, when you've got to draw a graph, know, but luckily for you, they gave me the graph. So they gave me a graph. Do you see they've got little points there, and they actually did draw a straight line. What kind of questions will they ask you? Now, firstly, they ask me, what is the relationship between G and m over r square? So ask me, what is the relationship between the values on the y-axis and the values on the x-axis? And we'll answer that just now. Then they asked me to calculate the gradient of the graph. Thirdly, which physical constant is represented by the gradient? Fourthly, if the gravitational acceleration on Uranus, which is another planet, is 9, so it's not the same as Earth, which is 9.8, use the graph and determine that value. And finally, determine the mass of Uranus if it's got a radius of that. So let's see. What's the relationship between G and m over r square? Now, if you remind yourself, it was a straight line through the origin, so I can immediately say G is directly proportional to the value of my x-axis, which says directly proportional. What does that mean, guys? It says if it is going more or an increase there, this value will increase as well. And that's what you saw on your graph. Finally, they asked me to calculate the gradient. Now, the gradient, is, the gradient is m, if you remember your math. It's delta y over delta x. So you can go back to your graph, and at any point you can calculate the gradient. Have a look at this. I'll start there and there because I know those 2 points. I'll see what's my x value and my y value there. So go and see what's your y value there and go and read your x value there. So I found the following. I said it is 9 minus 0. Let's have a look. It is 9. Oh no, I took it this side. Sorry. This is easier, much easier. Take it there. It is that value there minus the 0 with the x value, which is this. So see if you can find points that's easily to work with. And if you then deduct those and it's 0, you get a relationship of 6.67 times 10 to the minus 11. Make sure that you see this is a plus 11. If it goes up, it's a minus 11. And have you seen any number that looks like that? Have you seen a relationship more or less in that area? Yes, you have. So that's the answer for the gradient. What did they ask me? Which physical constant is represented by this gradient? Well, you know, it is G, the universal constant, because we just calculated it. Just have a look. Do you see that value? Similar to the value that we've used all along. That's the value G, and that's what you calculated when you got the gradient. Right, the fourth question. Calculate the mr square, m over r square, if the gravitational acceleration of Uranus is 9. So you go back to your graph and you read, if it is 9, what will this value on the x-axis be? And you can go and have a look and calculate that. I found the value to be 1.35 times 10 to the power of 11. And the unit is exactly as on the x-axis. So this is really just going to your graph, and mostly you'll be using the graph. So interpret the graph, see what they're giving me, and use the values that they're giving me. The last question, calculate the mass of Uranus. So what do I have to do? I've got to calculate the mass of Uranus if they give me the radius, and they've given me the calculation that we just did. We calculated this to be the mr square. So let's complete our equation. G is the m over the r square. We've got the m to calculate. We've got G, which we calculated in a previous question. They asked me to calculate m, and they gave me the radius. Remember, they gave me the radius, 2.54 times 10 to the 7. So what do? I just complete this equation. Remember the square. Do everything very accurately, and you'll find your mass to be 8.7097 times 10 to the 25 kilogram. And if you've got to round this answer, it will be 8.71, because you will actually round it to 2 decimals times 10 to the 25 kilogram. That's the kind of questions they'll ask you. They gave you a graph. You had to come up with a few deductions from that graph. Can you define Newton's law? I hope you can. Can you perform calculations? I hope you can. You can go onto the internet. You can go to any textbook. Have a look. There's many textbooks around. There's internet questions. There's past papers. Have that next to you. Look at the lesson and see if you can actually get every calculation correct and get full marks for this section. Enjoy Newton's universal gravitation. Bye-bye.